Hello, everyone. My name is Leila, and today I'm going to talk about open air museums in southern and eastern Norway that offers a wide range of activities for visitors, such as outdoor exploration, hands on activities, and participating in old traditional practices. My project is for anyone who is interested in cultural heritage and public history, especially people who are curious about how museums can make history more engaging. My project focuses on four different museums: Asker Museum, Norwegian Folk Museum, Maihaugen, and the Norwegian Emigrant Museum. Having grown up in Norway, I wanted to take this opportunity to talk about museums that are meaningful to me and that have helped shape my own understanding of Norwegian heritage. Visiting these museums made me realize how powerful walkable and interactive museums can be in shaping the public's understanding of the past. The museums highlight a central goal of public history, making history accessible, engaging, and relevant to everyday visitors. Public history is concerned with how people outside academic settings encounter history through the spaces they walk through and the activities they participate in. These open air museums invite visitors to engage with historical environments rather than just simply observing from a distance. My project focuses on a critical question: how does walkable and interactive museum spaces influence the way people learn about history? Let's take a look. The pictures that I just showed is very sentimental to me because I would often visit Asker Museum with family, friends, and even go there on school trips. I remember in school we would go on day trips and we would engage in different activities like how they lived back in the day, like making butter from scratch, preparing hay for the horses, and taking care of the animals. Several events are hosted at this location, making the museum alive and filled with life every single day. The museum invites people to walk through idyllic or fairy tale-ish gardens that has different sculptures and art pieces displayed all around. You can even find Easter eggs in different locations, which is pretty fun. Most importantly, the museum has very old buildings and houses, and while the museum was founded in 1949, the oldest building, which is a chapel, dates all the way back to the 1600s. The museum preserves the houses and buildings in an effort to show how Norwegian domestic life and architecture was in the past. Visitors that come to Asker Museum are able to fully immerse themselves in an experience that feels like stepping back in time. One of the most unique aspects is, I think, the animals, because when they're outside, visitors can like feed them and pet them whenever they want to, and they can even assist the staff in caring for them. The museum offers more than a traditional lesson in history. It provides hands-on experiences that brings the past back to life. I think that Asker Museum demonstrates exactly how walkable and interactive spaces can make learning so much more immersive. Visitors do not just simply read about the past, they experience it and live through it. By moving through the museum, observing its spaces, and participating in activities, visitors can form a more personal and meaningful connection to history. Moving on to the capital city of Norway, Oslo, they also have a walkable and interactive museum. However, this is one of Norway's largest and most immersive open air museums. The museum has over 160 historic buildings relocated from across Norway. This includes farmhouses, churches, and older homes, in an effort to recreate authentic historical environments. You might wonder, can we even walk inside these houses? Yes, absolutely. Visitors can explore each building at their own pace while gaining insight into how Norwegians used to live, work, and socialize. I think what makes this museum more interactive is how they use living history actors who are constantly performing daily tasks like cooking, weaving, and crafting, bringing the past to life in a way that is more engaging and educational. So, visitors can interact with the actors and choose to either watch them, ask them questions, and even participate in their activities. From a public history perspective, the Norwegian Folk Museum shows how interactive museums can enhance people's historical understanding. Visitors can witness the actors performing daily tasks as they would in the past, and move through the streets and houses while developing a personal connection to historical life. Now I want to talk about Myhagen Museum, which is in Lillehammer, and it is actually Northern Europe's largest open-air museum and one of the largest cultural facilities in Norway. This museum has over 200 historical buildings, which spans from the Middle Ages to the 20th centuries. This includes farmhouses, workshops, and city homes. Visitors can wander along the streets while viewing the historical buildings and experience how Norwegians interacted in different regions and time periods. Similar to the Norwegian Folk Museum, visitors can learn from the historical actors that walk around and they can perform various activities throughout. All of these museums this far exemplifies how interactive and open air museums encourage embodied learning. This means that visitors do more than just see history, they move through it, they participate in it, and they form connections to the lives of people who came before us. Last but not least, I stumbled upon a very interesting open air museum in Hamar called the Norwegian Emigrant Museum. I found this particularly interesting because it explores Norway's complex migration history and it includes authentic historical buildings such as cabins and structures that were all relocated all the way from the United States to Norway. These buildings were built in Norwegian American settlements. Visitors are able to walk through the immigrant homes, immersing themselves in migration stories and experiencing environments that reflect real, lived historical realities. According to the Anno Museum in Hamar, they are working on creating digital and immersive experiences that will bring the migration stories to life for anyone who's interested. In addition, the museum is also a research center where they collect immigration letters, archives, personal stories, and audio interviews. This museum is a great example of how powerful open air museums can be. It bridges between personal memories to collective national history. Visitors can immerse themselves in the lives of migrants through their homes, their struggles, and their hopes. This walkable space turns the story of migration to a space where people can understand physical realities of leaving home and building a new life. I want to acknowledge that all of my research has come from my own experiences and the museum's websites where they keep a lot of historical information along with collections of archives that they've published. My purpose for this project was not just to convince you to visit Norway, but to bring awareness to how these types of museums preserve history while making it accessible and engaging for the public. These museums are carefully maintained and thoughtfully designed, allowing visitors to walk through historical spaces, participate in activities, and connect with the past in a personal and meaningful way. This immersive approach to learning not only brings people together, but it demonstrates the unique power of interactive museums to foster a deeper appreciation and understanding of cultural heritage. Thank you for taking your time to listen to my presentation, and I hope you learned something new about Norway.